This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the January 2026 Commission on Disability meeting. I'm just seeing if there's anybody here from public speak. Don't do that. Can we just go around and introduce ourselves? Can we start with you on the screen? Bryce, why don't you go first? Oh no, you're on mute, Bryce.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Bryce.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Say where you're from.
We're doing the meeting from Riverside.
Okay. Next. And on my end, you're in a row, so I don't know where you are on your screen.
I can go. Hi, it's Allison Manuel, the planning director. I'm down in my office. I've been fighting off a cold, so I figured I'd keep my germs to myself.
Next. Louise. Can you go? Louise?
You're a bit hard to hear.
Okay, good. We'll enunciate more. Can you just say who you are? Can you say who you are?
Sorry.
Can you just introduce yourself?
My name's Louise Jacob, and I'm a member of the Commission on Disability.
Great. Okay. Angelique Baker, Chair.
Eli Damon, Vice Chair. Dylan Maxfield, Associate Planner for the city, and I'm filling in for support staff today.
Cyril Slimaker, I'm just a member of the committee.
Not just one.
Just Cyril.
Leslie Tane, I'm the clerk.
Okay. So you're sitting in for Maddie today.
Correct.
Got it. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, let's see. Who are we missing? We're going to go over that first. We are missing Bruce. I believe he emailed me and said that he could not make it. Okay. Jeff Brown. And I know, Bryce, you're at Riverside because Jen couldn't make it today, I think. I think that's what she wrote to me. Right, Jen's not there with you?
I am.
Oh,
I'm not.
okay.
Decided not to walk him on the sidewalks today. We weren't sure if they were fully cleared or not.
That makes sense. Yeah, they're a little icy. Okay, why do I feel like we're missing somebody else? Stan did officially remove himself. I know he told them. I don't know if he's officially been written off because he's still on the website. And why do I feel like we're missing somebody? I'm making that up. I could be making that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Maybe it's because Maddie's not here and we've gotten used to her being here.
Okay. All right. So we did roll call. Like I said, there's no one here for public speak. So the mayor's going to come in and introduce. I always skip that till later.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Angelique. You said
Yeah.
something about the mayor?
Yeah, the mayor's going to come in at some point. He was supposed to be here by now, but he's probably going to come any minute. So
Okay, because I have a question for him.
You need to tell me what it is first, because he's not here to really take questions.
I'm sorry.
He's not really here to take questions. He's here to introduce himself. So what is the question?
My question has to do with, receipt of applications for,
The position?
committees. And,
Yes,
and
that's
how,
what he's here to talk about. Perfect. That's what I asked him to talk about, the start to finish, how that works. So.
okay,
you
great.
think alike. Okay. Allison, can you just tell us a little bit about how you came to be here and what you're doing down there in the office and all that?
Yeah, so the planning department has a lot going on right now. We've got quite a few irons in the fire as far as projects about town. Things unfortunately happen over the course of years rather than days or months. So things you've probably heard about, we are making progress on. It's just not as quick as any of us would like, but the Main Street redesign, it is still happening moving forward. We're at the 25% design phase, which is basically the schematic and conceptual designs fleshed out a little bit more. Mass DOT has reviewed them, and we're going to reconcile some comments that Mass DOT had. And after that, we'll have a big public hearing. So it's the 25% design public hearing. I expect that to be later this winter, if not early spring. And that is that's like the big opportunity for the public to come in, see where we're at with the plans, and submit comments so that any substantive changes can be made before the plans are like fully engineered. But they're looking really good right now. Some good sidewalk improvements. There will be a shared use path, so like a nice wide path along the side of Northampton Street leading up to Main Street. And yeah, it'll definitely have some accessibility improvements throughout Main Street, which is great. Similarly, the Safe Routes to School project that Jeff Bagg had applied for a number of years ago, which is to connect Park Street from downtown all the way to the school with a shared use path. So like a nice wide sidewalk that is safe for all users. Right now, the sidewalks are a little bit sketchy in some areas, and there's not full connectivity. So that is also at the 25% design phase. The state is overseeing that, so they will be scheduling that hearing, and we're waiting on them to do that. But that one I expect in the next couple months. And again, that's where the public is encouraged to come and look at the plans and ask questions and offer any comments. Just this week, we submitted 2 grant applications. We submitted one for the small park that's on the corner of Parsons Street and Federal Street. Right now, it's got just sort of like a little swing set and a couple of benches, but we do have a design to revamp the park and provide some better amenities there. So we submitted a grant for that just a couple days ago, and we'll cross our fingers and hopefully it comes through. That's a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant that we submitted. And today I submitted for replacement of all of our Valley Bike Share bikes. So that does include the station at Parsons Street. So you might remember the Valley Bike original vendor went bankrupt a couple years ago. So the bikes were pulled for a while, and we did get a new vendor to operate the system, which is great. But the old bikes, they're just kind of starting to fall apart, and the new vendor is having a hard time repairing them. So it's really time for like a full replacement. So that'll be really nice if we're able to get funding to do that. It'll be all new bikes throughout the whole system. And some of those bikes have already been deployed in other communities, so you might have seen them if you ever use the bike share. And then another shared use path. We have a lot of those going on right now. We're going to be working on an MVP, which is Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness application. We had submitted last year for this. We weren't awarded, but it's for a shared use path along Emerald Place. So connecting Emerald Place all the way down to Ferry Street. So that's another opportunity for us to improve the sidewalks in the community. Right now, there isn't much of a sidewalk down the side there. The slope is kind of unstable. So it'll stabilize the slope as well as building out that sidewalk. So that grant won't be submitted for a few more months, but we are still working towards that, and we're hopeful that we'll get it this time around. So that's just sort of like a highlight. I mean, there's more going on, and if you have questions about things you see around town, happy to touch on them.
We were just wondering going forward if we could know whenever you like apply for something, because nobody tells us anything really. The history is like, we don't know until it's done being built. So just curious if we could know as before and be part of the process in case there's any accessibility things we want to take a look at.
Yeah, so a number of these projects that I was just talking about, we did apply for, many years ago. And like I said, they're just very slow processes. But it's a completely reasonable ask. And by and large, we do try to do public engagement before grant applications go out. Usually it's during the planning phase. Most of these projects don't just appear. We have plans that go into them. But I'm glad that you mentioned that, because we are talking about the crossing across by Nini's and the Union Mart and Chapel Street, and sort of like the pedestrian accessibility and safety in that area. And I think that's probably a good opportunity to connect with you all and get your feedback on your experiences in that area before we have the designs worked on.
Thank you. Do any of you have any questions?
I just have one. You said the crosswalk at Nini's, and where was the second one?
So it's the crosswalk at Nini's, and then in front of the Maple School on Chapel Street.
Okay.
So because we're using the Maple School for public parking while the redevelopment plans are in the works, we do want to make some improvements there. So folks coming from that parking lot and from the neighborhood in general have a safer route to get to Cottage Street and the businesses on Cottage Street.
Okay, thank you.
I might have some questions about that because it's very close to where I live.
Sure.
Leslie. I gotta find this person.
Did you want to ask a question, Louise?
I'm registering that I do right now.
Okay, so maybe when you have your question formed, we will ask Allison.
Okay, great. I'm more concerned about my question for Salem at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
He's in there meeting with somebody else. So I'm confused. They're usually a little confused. Okay. Hi, Jeff Brown.
Hello. Oh, I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm having camera issues.
I'm not even on camera. Talk about camera issues. Oh my goodness.
Full view of me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It says it's not plugged in. I think it is, but whatever.
You're super tall. Could you get
Good to see everybody.
His camera on his computer.
You mean?
I'm not on it at all, and I have to be recorded.
Yes.
I believe you are on it. I believe it's just showing a sliver where if you actually watch the recording, it will show.
Okay, so right now that it's only showing my papers is a lie.
It's capturing you, but it's not showing because it's crunched it down to like phone size. So you've just been truncated.
Got it. Okay. Sounds like a ghost just talking over here.
If you hit that on the bottom right of that, where it says Google Meet, if I may, if I jump on it here just a moment. I think if we go here, so you're right there.
Why are you
Oh,
so
okay.
smart, man? Do you know how many times we've adjusted that camera? Probably for no reason.
What is that?
That's why
Oh,
we keep these people around.
shrink this tile.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
good
that
to
just
know.
makes it that, it's just, you're being captured,
I'm
it's just not
here.
showing it, but the thumbnail.
I have a procedural question for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
When I'm doing the attendance for the minutes, is it everyone who attends the meeting, or is it just the commission members who are here?
You definitely want to record, the commissioners, that's important. You don't have to necessarily take attendance of everybody for the minutes. Just at like the top,
Mhm.
usually as people participate, you can say, this person was here, said this. Generally speaking, like when I do minutes for planning board or zoning board of appeals, when people give public comment,
Mhm.
that's when I'll record, this person from the public said so on and so forth, and I'll just do the attendance of who the members were.
We get so few that I just usually do at the top, just because we get like one.
But like
there.
Connie is not a commission member, is she?
No,
No. So yeah, I was just, I know there's a lot of technical things, so I just
Right.
wanted to ask that.
right. Usually Eli and I put it just in a different section, like attendees or something, because just especially if they were talking quite a bit, then
Yeah.
then we do put them at top, just because we're the COD and we need to over explain something sometimes.
All right. Thank you.
Can I ask you to do a favor?
Sure, yeah.
Can you knock and ask when Mayor
I
Derby
believe I
is coming?
saw on the calendar, he's double booked until 11:30, or sorry, 12, what time we have? 11:30, that's the one, yeah.
He's double booked until 11:30?
Yep. So, check.
How do you double book? That's not a salon situation. Like
I
don't know.
Double
myself all the
like,
time.
double book to me. Well, yeah, you got that one of those.
I'm busy.
Yes, you're busy. Okay. So he accidentally said he could show up now, but he also had a meeting. So that's what you mean by double book.
So I think it's from what I could see on the calendar, I can only see, things are blocked out. So yeah, I think there's an overlap. So 11:30,
Okay.
he's attending here.
Okay, so we'll just do 7 to 11. Perfect. I had no idea. Thank you. And you have the magical access to the magical calendar. Can I ever have access to the magical calendar?
I think you need a city email address.
We have,
We have one. Okay.
It's
All
probably
right.
through that, yeah.
Note that down. So I
uh,
don't have to chase people down and we know where they are and if they're already busy. Okay, all right. So now I would like to do the minutes. I just wanted to wait because I didn't think we had a quorum, so I wanted to see who else was here. For those members that were here last meeting, does anybody see anything missing or wrong with the Commission on Disability meeting minutes?
Eli did.
Eli, what did we miss?
Oh, I emailed Leslie. There are a few just minor errors.
Okay,
Yes. So I'm going to correct them, and they're very minor, but I'm going to correct them and resend out the minutes.
okay, but nobody else?
Everything looks good on my end.
Okay, all right. So we will move to accept those next meeting. Okay. Let's see.
Well, we can approve them now. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't-
pretty sure.
You just have to accept with the changes as recommended by Eli.
So the changes were that,
Okay.
I accidentally put Cyril as both present and absent. He was in fact absent. And I wrote that this meeting was taking place in 2025. It's actually
Hey,
2026.
that is fair. We're not used to that. Yeah. Okay. Good eye, Eli. That's what we like, some teamwork. Okay, all right. So outside of that, is everybody okay with the minutes? Luis, you're good with them?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, all right. Motion to accept them made by me. Is there a second? Seconded. Is everybody okay with that? Bryce, yes? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. while we're waiting for, Mayor Derby, let's see, we are going to, I just want to jump down to the community survey subcommittee. Actually, first, Leslie, do you have, Facebook updates or email updates?
The update is that there are no updates.
Yes, love that. Cha-ching. Okay, next. And then, Louise, I had asked you about current events or anything that you wanted to bring to the meeting. Do you have any current events?
Gets circular, mostly to do with, Salem, and I guess he's not here yet.
Right. No, but like things out in the world. That was Stan's job, and we don't have Stan anymore. Like interesting things you read about in regards to disabilities. Remember you sent me a couple of things through my email? Okay, I'm gonna go
I would
look.
have to look it up again. There's been
I'm gonna
so
look at
much.
it right now.
I think, sorry, Angelique, I
Yeah,
think disability rights as a result of the new administration, federal administration,
right.
are probably going to come very low.
Okay, the one you sent me was HUD policy changes will drastically cut funding for supportive housing in Massachusetts. Do you remember that one at all?
Again, I think it'll be okay for a year or two, and then it's going to be very bad.
Can you just explain what you're talking about? Because they didn't get the email, so.
Okay, if you read that again, Angelique.
HUD policy changes will drastically cut funding for supportive housing in Mass.
Okay, I would stand by that. That is going to be true within 2 years. We're pretty lucky in Massachusetts compared to a lot of the country.
But do you want to explain what was in the article since they didn't read it? Do you
I can't
remember?
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Okay, that's all right. Let's see. I think that might be it. Okay. All right. So next meeting, if you find anything that's important you want everybody to know about, just bring it with you. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Yes. So I wanted to quickly go over to the survey that we did before. Did you want to explain a little bit to Cyril?
Oh, I wish I could remember. It's been
It can
a
be,
long
how
time.
about it be a team effort? You say
Yeah.
what you remember, I say what I remember.
But it
And I will
was,
also add that this survey is on the commission website, on the government website, so that you can refer to that.
so it was, we did it in the fall of 2020. And
Look at that, you remember more than I did. It's 2020.
yeah, well, it was, start of the pandemic.
Yes.
And we modeled it off of a survey we found that was done in Cambridge, England.
Mhm.
And it asked a whole bunch of different questions. It was like an estimated 20 or 30-minute survey.
Okay.
But the main thing we found is that people were really frustrated with the state of sidewalks and crosswalks.
Mhm.
And I gave a presentation to the city council about it, showing that that trend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so
So-
from there, we want to do another one, an updated one. I'd like to get that started as soon as possible. The thing is that there's a lot of little projects we want to do, and that, you know, when people join the Commission on Disability, they're only agreeing to this 1 hour meeting.
Mhm.
So anything other than that is fantastic, but I can't make people help.
Mhm.
So, in doing that survey, it took us so many years because we kept getting different people that were coming that would, once we thought we had something finalized, they would come and say, oh, I don't like this part at all, or missing this, and back to the drawing board. So it literally took us, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years
Something like
to
that.
get it out. And so, and then once we did get it out, we got, I believe it was either 62 or 67 answers,
Mm-hmm.
replies. I thought we were going to get hundreds and like 1,000, like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But we were told that was a lot. We were told by the planning department that's a lot. And so we would like to redo it, especially because once we looked at the results and stuff, we realized there were questions that we didn't ask, that we should have asked, or asked in a different way that weren't exactly the clearest. Not sure if we could shorten the time it takes. There were just a lot of things. So we want to redo that survey. So I would like to start it in the next couple of months. So if there's anybody at home on the screen or in here that would like to meet and start working on that, please let me know. And also over time needs change and people's needs change. So,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
can say already, like, I'm interested in being a part of that committee.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I am also.
Yay, look at that. All right. Okay. I was gonna write that down, but that's your new job. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
Well, does anyone happen to have access to the password for the City Hall public Wi-Fi?
Yep, it is. Stay in school, all lowercase, all.
Oh, yeah, it's right there on the
Beautiful.
wall.
I love it.
found Stands cool.
Thank you.
That's funny. It's funny and it's not funny because, you know, I have 3 kids in the school system and they really struggle with school attendance, and I did not know that. It's like when my kid misses one day, I'm like, and they're like, people are missing months of school. Kids are missing months and months of school.
Yeah, but if they do, they are eventually not welcomed back.
So some of them aren't, and some of them they just let slide.
It depends how old they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Or their IEP.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, what time are we approaching? 11:30, so he might come in soon. Okay. So, again, we'll just go over that we're recruiting new members. And Cyril, you said you just stumbled upon us?
No, I actively looked for you.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You actively look. Thank you.
Yeah.
What were you saying in your head when you said, let me go?
So I'm a social worker,
Yep.
and I take like the kind of ethics of that really seriously.
Mm.
As in, like, okay, like I work mostly in like group private practice, and
Yes.
so I, as a disabled person, like I find this work to be really important, and like being a part of my community really important. So it's something I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank
Sorry, I'm
you.
late.
That's okay. Hi.
I wasn't expecting to get stuck in that meeting.
No, that's okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you,
It's a good place to sit.
that is a perfect, you are,
Well, you're not on camera
He's
if
not
you
on
sit there.
Well,
oh, you're
backwards
right, it's
camera.
backwards.
Yeah.
It's all the way down there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all the way down there.
Awesome.
All right, did you just want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Salem Derby. I am the mayor, and I apologize for being late. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
So,
Hey, Eli.
Louise, are you trying to ask your question right now, immediately?
Either now or later.
Yeah, we gotta do later.
Okay.
We gotta give them a chance to breathe a little bit. Okay.
Sure.
It's her question actually, it was just what we talked about through email.
Yeah.
One of the things is just like, could you just explain how somebody gets on a committee because poof, people just show up at the meeting and we don't know how they got there.
Yeah, so, so the appointment process is pretty simple. You apply, if there's a vacancy, you apply online.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing.
We have to yell today.
Okay, so you apply online, is that better? And, then, the, information goes through my office and then gets sent to the appointment subcommittee. And then the appointment subcommittee votes on it and that person gets appointed or not. Now, generally the process is going to involve some sort of, as we move into the future, it's going to involve some sort of communication with the chair as they come through. But because of the transition that was happening, there was a little bit of a lapse in the process because of the transition. But as we move forward, as the applications come in, there will just be like a notification to the chair that this person has applied and that they're going to be sent to the subcommittee and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So that's not a super complicated process.
Right.
Caleb, what advice would you give to somebody who has applied to this commission and has heard nothing so far?
That they should.
I mean, there's no acknowledgement of receipt of the application.
There should be. So when you submit it online, I believe that Civic Plus gives you an acknowledgement that you've submitted an application and that it's underway. And if that didn't happen, either maybe the application wasn't complete, or something happened in that process, so they could always just fill out the application again and try. But again, one of the things, if there's a concern about the application, whether it was received or whether it hasn't gone anywhere, that's where an email to my office or phone call to my office would be really beneficial, just to make sure as through this transition time, things don't fall through the cracks. But I can go back and look and see which I just did, and I didn't see any outstanding applications for the COD.
There is one.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll check on that and see if I can find it. Okay. I looked at it, maybe it could have been in the system longer. I think I had it on a 30-day filter. So maybe if I go, extend the filter, I'll find it.
And how long is that process? A month, 2 months usually?
Yeah, so it usually wouldn't be 2 months. It would usually be a month because it would come to my office. So the standard procedure comes to my office. I check in with the chair, let them know, and then it gets sent to appointments. They will usually have bi-weekly meetings. And so once it gets to them, they only have 30 days to act on it, or the appointment becomes official anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotta just comment that the 2 months is an awfully long time if you send an application for something to hear nothing.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be 2 months.
He said not 2 months. He said it won't take 2 months.
He's gonna look for that missing application, I believe.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and what are some of the reasons that somebody might not be accepted? I know in the past it was like if you could be on maybe too many committees.
That's a good question. I'd have to take a look into that. Generally, it's gonna lie within the appointment subcommittee, within their purview.
Okay.
I know that there's certain requirements. Certain committees have certain requirements, whether they be attendance requirements, whether they be standards of behavior. So I know that in some in the past, there have been people that have been denied to committees because of things that they posted on social media that were like derogatory or like outside of the bounds of the acceptability policy.
Wow,
yeah.
Like their own public account?
Yeah.
I mean, own private account?
Yes.
But is it about general or about the city and they got caught?
No, so just like, general, like, so the general guidelines, and I'd have to pull them up to know exactly what they say, but there's kind of a policy around how someone who is a representative of the city represents the city. And if they are, saying things that are really kind of explosive or that don't reflect well on the city.
Got it.
That could be a reason why
Imagining some scenarios that might not be okay.
I mean, listen, like free speech is critical, important. And again, this is not my guideline or policy. But I do know that I have seen people be denied because of they were pretty significant social media posts that were like most people would find to be not necessarily appropriate.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what made you want to be mayor?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because you said 22 years of.
I was on the city council for 22 years. Yes. And I have been really invested in this beautiful city of ours. And when I became interim mayor, first of all, I really loved my job. And, I was a high school teacher for 20 years in Northampton High School.
Okay.
Amazing job. Dynamic, interesting, really keeps you on your toes. No day is the same. So I was pretty apprehensive to leave, which is why I originally said that I was not going to run for mayor, which, some people criticized me about that I changed my mind. But I will say this, if you are unable to change your mind when you get into a situation based on the facts that are on the ground, there is a significant issue with your ability to make decisions.
Right.
Because if you can't see what the factors are that are surrounding you and pivot based on those, then you have something called a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
And something I do not have is a fixed mindset or a rigid mindset. I like to have more of an open mindset where I'm able to make decisions based on what I see and what I find. And when I became interim mayor, I realized that what I was seeing, what I was finding really reinforced the fact that this was something that I could be really successful with.
Okay.
And that I kind of owed to myself after investing 22 years of my life, dedicating my time to the city. And I needed to be able to step up and do that.
You're all about pivot.
Pivot. Got to pivot when you need to. Listen, adaptability is one of the most intrinsic human traits. And it's what has allowed us to survive this long. So
I see a T-shirt coming.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it.
Okay. So going forward, and I didn't ask you to think about this before, but how do you think we could be involved with you? Like, do you have any plans coming up where it could be part of or need help?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, the ability to identify areas of need within the city, it's going to be, I think this is where you all could be really helpful. I met with the fire chief this morning. And one of the things I didn't realize, there's a lot, even if you are super involved in the kind of operation of the city for a very long time, you kind of become blind to some things. I didn't realize that the public safety complex didn't have a push button to get in.
That's true.
And so, that's one of the things that I was just made aware of. So, that's one of the things that we're going to be fixing.
Oh, I love it.
And so as we find areas in the city that need attention, I think that as you bring those to us, I'm going to work with my planning team to figure out how we can look at our capital improvement plan and say, what are the things that we can do within reason to be able to fix things to make things more accessible? So for me, that is going to be in that advisory piece is really important. So if I'm aware of things, then I can do something.
Okay.
So that's critical.
So what would be the best way for us to get our concerns to you?
Oh, that's easy. So an email to ask me to come if you want to tell me in person. And I promise I won't have another meeting booked.
Okay.
So that is a piece of that. And, or a phone call or, I think a lot of committees will, through their chair, will reach out and try to initiate communication. And it won't be hard to get in touch.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Great. Do you guys have questions at home that kind of pertain to what we were talking about? No?
I have one question. Oh, wait, Jeff, you go first.
I think, I don't know. My huge issue is rent control housing, even though I'm a homeowner now, it's just getting insane for so many people, including the disabled community. But I think the thing that on this committee that we really want to emphasize is how the interaction is going to be between the mayor's office, city council, and the police department regarding enforcement of the snow removal policy. Because I tell you that, in the past, for many years I worked at Riverside, and I'd be pushing people across the street and they'd get stuck in the snow. And, I've had, and also just walking their properties with sidewalks unshoveled, walking past the same place that I called about like 4 or 5 days in a row where just nothing, it's just, the response from the police department has been laughable. It's just been bad, non-responsive, and there needs to be some sort of outside pressure to get this happening. Because we can talk about whatever we want in terms of ordinances, but unless police are going to enforce it, it's meaningless.
I'd like to just second what Jeff just said, all of it.
Okay.
So for housing, that is a universal issue across the state, across the country. We're doing what we can to try to figure out ways to mitigate housing. It's not a problem that's unique to Easthampton. This is we're dealing. I'm seeing my colleagues around the state are dealing with the exact same things we're dealing with, especially around outside investors coming in and driving up costs. And we are doing as the city what we can, because really one of the antidotes to this is increasing housing stock and increasing affordable housing, and we're working really hard towards that. And really, the things that are constraining us are things that are beyond our control. The kind of level of bureaucracy that exists at the state level slows us down. And I've had multiple conversations with Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor, Ed Augustus, the head of housing for the state. And we're working on trying to see if we can get some of those funds released quicker so we can move faster to create housing stock in Easthampton. As far as snow removal, that is definitely front and center, especially, in relation to the storms we've had recently. This is not a new issue. I'm not the first mayor to be told this is an issue. I was one of the people that wrote the snow removal ordinance when we first passed it. And, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do, but I'll tell you one of the things that I'm trying to do. So I had a meeting 2 weeks ago with the high school principal. And one of the things that I have brought to the high school is we now have high school vans. And I have offered to buy shovels and do a Snow Angels program where after a snowstorm, areas that get identified as being unshoveled, and this could actually be something where, again, you asked how we could communicate and how you could be helpful. If you have people that you work with that you know of that are incapable of shoveling their own driveway and do not have the funds to shovel their sidewalk or shovel their area, we could team up high school students the day after the storm, who after school could come and clean that area. So we're calling it the Snow Angels. And really the biggest, factor that's prohibiting us from getting this going is us not knowing those areas that need to be addressed. And so that's one of the things I'm working on to try to figure out the logistics so we can really have a tangible solution to find areas in town that need addressed, whether they're, common areas where we can send these students to shovel, whether they're people who maybe for whatever reason are incapable of shoveling their own sidewalk or don't have the financial resources to get that done, we can send them there. And this can also dovetail with, I have just authorized, the city is going to be creating an app. And
Ooh,
part of
fancy.
and part of that is being able to have a in your pocket ability.
Having a snow angels program.
So having an in your pocket ability to report in real time areas of concern. And so, you know, there's definitely a multi-pronged approach to addressing this problem. There's going to be no perfect solution, but it is on it's on our radar, and we are trying to make sure that we address it to the best of our ability.
Do you know Cynthia Terrell?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, because
Yeah.
she just wrote me about the snow angels thing, and she wanted to get it going and didn't know how.
Yeah. So I met with her yesterday, and
Oh.
we didn't talk about this. So, but as we kind of developed the program, COD, Council of Aging, those are the like our two main like focal points to
Right.
see if we can get information on where we would send these guys.
So I did ask Mr. Evans, because he was giving me a couple of phone numbers, but
Yeah.
like that was me managing them, and that's kind of inappropriate. And so
Right.
we need like a you wanted to know if the Council on Aging would manage the names. You could call, and they didn't want to manage the names, and so like who will manage the names?
So we'll see. That's to be determined.
Got
But it might live in the health department.
Okay.
It's one of the places where it can live.
Okay.
Yeah, I think having a way to report these things without
Please.
talking to the police is important.
And that's going to be one of the functions of the app is
Yeah.
to have that functionality.
So I'm not totally clear on Williston's role in things, but would it be possible for you to also talk to Williston about joining the Snow Angels program?
It's possible. Yeah. I have been a little bit busy, so I haven't been able to get in touch with the kind of upper echelon of Williston yet. But I don't see why coordinating with them as well would be an issue.
I think it would be good for their reputation as well.
Yes.
Does anybody have any more comments about snow? Before you go, I wanted to talk about the accessibility ordinance update. Do you know anything about it yet?
I don't.
Okay, can we tell you real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so for a couple of years now, we've been working on something. It's just a little slow moving because we wanted to make sure that businesses, especially if they're having a gathering like a bar or I don't know, a dance event, that or actually just existing, right? Like a store, that they have a list of, we made an accessibility list, checklist, to just list some basic things like we do have an elevator, or how about we don't have an elevator, or like we have 3 steps coming in, or especially if somebody has, I don't know, they rent the Boylston room, like it would be nice for that there's an ordinance that before you throw a party or do anything, that you have to list what you have. And most importantly, a phone number, an active email and or phone number where there's somebody that could answer questions. Because you could be listing a couple of things, but that's not, for instance, my grandmother can't hear or see anything, so she needs to sit up front. Like that wouldn't be listed on the internet, most likely, right? So we need somebody, not just call up and get like a bartender who says, I don't know, heck, I don't know, but like, so somebody that would know how to get the accessibility needs met. And so that's the ordinance that we're working on. It started with Councilor Gomez, many a moon ago,
Yeah.
yes. And so Councilor Dunham is trying to help a couple others.
Great.
So that's our little project we've been working on.
Good. That's great to know.
So
Yeah, that's a really interesting idea.
thank you.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything on that, guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, the basic idea, because people get it. Sometimes people are confused about it. The basic idea is not about, implementing accessibility features, but just making it so that it's easy for someone to find out whether
What exists.
something is accessible to
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are getting confused, like, where am I gonna get the money to add an elevator? And I'm like, no, that's not what we're asking, we just wanna know if you have one. or not.
Right. It's like this disclosure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we found out, we don't have a lot of control over private parties, except our friend Jeff Brown over here said, what about when people apply for a liquor license? Like, in order to get your liquor license, you're gonna have to list.
Or
There's-
entertainment license too.
Yes. Yep. You're gonna have to list what you have available or as far as accommodations. So, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I think that's more for public events, especially. We don't, public events, especially, people really want to know, because that's where people are really going to go outside their comfort zone and maybe wonder if they should check out an Easthampton venue, or maybe there's a venue that doesn't typically host that is now hosting. And I think one of the ways we do have the authority to regulate that they that they have a contact person is through the liquor license process. Because we don't really have much control over private businesses otherwise.
Some of the other things we have coming up is we did a survey a couple years ago about the needs of Easthampton, and we're going to do a new survey. Hopefully it won't take 4 to 5 years to get out like it did last time.
I feel like a couple of years ago we did an audit. There was an accessibility audit.
Oh, there was that too. Yeah, we had the gentleman come here.
Yeah.
And they surprised us. They said, what stuck out to me was they said in the new school that there was like the toilet paper roll holders were a little off. Mm-hmm. And I was like, would have never thought, would have never known. And they spent the whole meeting, like an hour and a half extra time, and they still weren't done. So they're very thorough.
Yeah.
So we want to have them back.
So Maddie Palmer.
Yeah.
That was in some of the materials that she sent us.
Yes.
That audit.
The audit, yeah.
So yeah, Maddie gave us a very thorough and very helpful documentation of some of the things that have affected the commission. And we just haven't, it's 800 something pages. It's very long.
Wow.
So we have to
Digest that.
Oh my God. I don't even
review
know.
and digest that.
This is the disabled commanded meeting.
Yeah.
That's 800
But I have
pages.
volunteered to kind of like look through it for the highlights so that we can, kind of hit the high spots of what's in it. I just haven't had time yet. So
Plus, there's an angel that came flying.
That's awesome.
So, and you know what? I don't think you were on the commission at that point. I will forward that email to you.
I was very curious.
Yes, it's it was super helpful, but extremely thorough.
Delightful. I love minutia. Let's go.
Okay, I will forward you that email.
Is there anything else that people want to ask Mayor Derby?
I have a little question, if that's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So kind of thinking about the stuff that like community is going on, like hearing about it here, I'm kind of curious theoretically about your kind of idea about like access and like what that means to you.
Okay. Well, it's definitely on the forefront with my planning department, and as we look at capital projects, making sure that as we do sidewalks, because really walkability, bikeability are really important things, I think, for the city of Easthampton. And I want to make sure that those things are done in a way that are inclusive and encourage more people to get out, as opposed to restrictive and keep people from being able to be able to use the amenities that we have. As we look at the infrastructure that's in Easthampton, there's a lot of places that are just not up to speed. And that's going to be one of the challenges that we face with a very limited budget, to be able to address some of the areas that we have that are of the highest need and triage those. I think that as we look to improving accessibility within the city, It's about finding the areas that are of the most need and then making sure that we know where those are and addressing those first so we can really start taking a dent out of the kind of things that are inhibiting people from being able to, move throughout the city unencumbered and to be able to access the amenities that we have and enjoy the amazing spaces that we have in Easthampton.
Did I hear you just say you're putting a full sidewalk on East Street where I live?
Oh,
I know
I
that's
wish
never
I could say
happening.
that. So the next sidewalk,
Never happening.
the next sidewalk that's going to be done because really one of the focuses as we look at triage is routes to school.
Yeah.
And so one of the next areas that's going to be done, and we're still working on some easements with the planning department to make this from the bike path up to Mountain View School.
Right.
It's going to be Park Street. And really improving the sidewalk, making that like a wide multi-use path.
I think Allison mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but as we kind of move forward, that's going to be the style that we're going to try to implement across the city as we, triage these things and find the areas of most need.
Yes.
Is to try to put things that are going to be wide, multi-use, and accessible.
Yes, and if you have billions of extra dollars, you're always
But if you know where to find those
come.
billions, please tell me, because I'm looking for them.
Always welcome to East Street.
Maybe we should start buying lottery tickets as a committee. I don't know.
Yeah, Jeff, you have a question?
So while we're talking about that, do you happen to know where we're at with the pedestrian bridge across the pond, like to from New City to like the warehouses and Eastworks and stuff?
Yeah, I can answer that. There's actually so one of the things that is really exciting to me as a mayor is I get to with the CPA report, I get to have a wish list. And so there's two things that I think are relevant to this committee there's more than that, but there's two that I'll say right now that are relevant to this committee. One of those is a pedestrian bike bridge from New City to the Mills. And so that's going to be in my wish list in the CPA plan. And the other one is a bridge from Water Street near the boat launch to Noxock Park to connect the Holyoke Street neighborhoods to the park, but also really to Mountain View School. And trying to, so those two things would be wide, accessible, pedestrian, bike, wheelchair friendly bridges that people would be able to use to access more areas of the city. So those are going on my wish list. So other than that, we don't have, they're not in the capital plan. We don't have funding for them, but the planning department, which is amazingly effective at, capturing grants that can do, amazing projects like this, are aware of it. And I am fully confident in their ability to, help me see that vision through.
So it sounds like your administration would be supportive of kind of like adding a little bit of teeth to requests for access. For example, kind of the tying kind of access needs to liquor license and to event.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it conforms within, like, liquor licenses are very, I know that there's a lot of state law that surrounds those, so I don't know what the intricacies around that, and I can't supersede state law. But yeah, I would be, especially as it relates to disclosure of, facilities and allowing people to have a better idea of what type of, access there is there. I think that's a great idea. So, and if we were, going to have that be included in entertainment licenses, that is one that I know for sure we would have a little bit more leeway with, as opposed to liquor licenses. It's very regulated by the state, so we might run into some issues there.
Is there anything you want to ask us?
No, but I do want to just say that, I want to be a partner, and I want to help you accomplish your mission.
Right.
Because I feel like, as my mission is to help the city of Easthampton move forward and to be a better place to live for everybody. And I feel like, if we have a good relationship and we have open lines of communication, we can accomplish that more effectively.
Awesome.
So, anytime you have any questions or concerns or whatever, I'm happy to sit down on a meeting or send me an email or whatever.
Okay.
But I do want to be a partner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for cutting out some time for us.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I was late. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I did not expect my meeting to go as long as it did. So, but that's the life of, well, especially with me, because once I get talking, forget about it.
Oh, tattling on yourself. Nice.
So,
Any other questions while he's here?
I just want to add that it's very exciting to be working with you.
Oh, thank you.
One thing that we as a commission, I think, have shifted the mission a tiny bit is that we are definitely here to advocate for people with physical disabilities, but we also really see it as our role to advocate for people with developmental and intellectual disabilities as well. So
Sure.
we also see, that kind of access as being really important.
I think that's great. And just another thing as far as like how we can kind of coordinate, I had a meeting with our Council on Aging director, our health director, and our veterans agent yesterday, talking about the social service needs of the city. And so I think that if people, because it might be a natural place for people who have needs related to social services, they might reach out to the commission.
Yes.
And being able to, so we're talking about finding a way to have a coordinated response to issues that are related to being unhoused, potentially mental health issues that could potentially lead to issues of being able to stay in a place, reporting issues and things like that. So we're looking at a coordinated response from the city, but part of that is like matching need with with resources. And so if you find that you're having people looking for referral, that's another reason where you could reach out either to me or I could steer you to the correct avenue to really help connect people to the resources that could help you with it.
Okay, great.
And so I think that piece is important too.
Yeah, that's great. I work for ServsNet, so
Okay, good.
that's a lot of what we do.
Yeah, great.
All right, well, thank you.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes.
I look forward to coming back.
Yes, we'll talk again.
Hopefully I won't be late.
Oh.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Okay, we are over a few minutes, but I think we talked about almost everything. So, does anybody have any new business that we didn't mention that we definitely need to have on next month's agenda?
You want to ask us all what we are hoping to accomplish.
Yes.
So we should put that on the agenda.
Yes. We ran out of time today. Yes, thank you for bringing it up. So just think about that between now and next meeting. Because technically it's the beginning of the year. If there's somebody else that wants to be chair, then we have to vote on it. It has to happen. I don't mind staying chair, but I'm not bossy, so. Yes, and so going forward over the next year or two, what do you want the commission to accomplish? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to include? Again, I'll remind you to also let us know what you're good at and what you really don't want anything to do with. Some people don't want to talk to people and table an event. And some people are good at reading 800 pages. So, in order for us to run successfully, I need to know like what everybody is good at. Or wants to get better at. How about that? You don't have to be perfect at it.
Your strengths.
Strengths, yes. We're very strength-based here. Yes, and if there's any future speaker ideas, let me know. I am trying to invite the Easthampton Housing Authority because there were some complaints online about it. And so I'm trying to get a hold of them to see if they can come pay us a visit. So is there anything before we adjourn? It's a fancy word I keep forgetting to say.
I'm good.
Good? We're all good?
I'll move to adjourn.
You're moved to adjourn. I'm a second. Is everybody okay with it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And we'll get to some of this other stuff next time. Thank you for coming.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.